Hoka hey Alita Army. Welcome to the Alita Livestream of April the 11th, 2025. Alita Anything Goes discussion, where we discuss all things to do with the movie Alita Battle Angel, the source manga Gunham, and the greatly desired sequels. I am your host, Creek Indian from Denver, Colorado, and with me is Lee, and he is down there in Fountain, Colorado. How's it going, Lee?
Not too bad. So far, so good.
Cool. And from Deutschland, we have Smendrick19. How's it going, Smendrick? And I think you're muted there, Smendrick.
Yeah, I held the switch wrong. Yeah, here's everything okay. It's the April 12th here in our time zone. So maybe we should ask you, Creaky, in which time zone? Very special Creaky's time zone you are living.
I'm in the Mountain Daylight time zone.
Mountain Daylight time zone, okay.
I think it's about 7 hours behind you, I think.
Yeah, okay. You think, yeah, this was the difficulty. Yeah. We didn't know Vladdy is on the way to us. We had some trouble with your invitation time soon.
Well, you're not on X, but I posted it on X. I posted on Blue Sky, so I mean,
yeah, anyway. But everything was wrong as far as I can see. You told us 11 p.m. and
is it 12 p.m.?
Yeah, at 12 a.m. on April the 12th.
Okay, so anyway, well, I'll have to change. I screw this up every year, but I'll have to change that on my invites, I guess, or on my announcement. And also from Arvada, Colorado, we have Do Not Stand By. Hello, Do Not Stand By. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you, Creek. Thanks for the chance to speak. I'm in the same time zone as Creek, and I'm still in April 11th. So good to see you, Smedley, in the future, which is tomorrow. But yes, we had daylight savings just a little bit ago, and that might have messed up all the times that we have. So sorry for that, Smedley. But yes, like Creek, I'm in the Rocky Mountain time, and we've got an extremely warm day today. It's 80 degrees Fahrenheit over here. Well, hopefully we'll be able to enjoy the weekend because the weather is going to be warm for the next few days.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
And from the Shires in the UK is Vladdy.
Hello. Yeah, I was so confused about the timings.
Yeah, I'm always messing the timing up. Every time we have
time's changed, it's always wrong.
For about like a 3-week stretch there, because between Australia and Europe and here in the U.S., it's like 3 weeks, where they kind of phases through, the daylight times.
Yeah, I know.
And it really, I mess it up every year. So anyway,
tradition.
Sorry about that. So
Alita chaos.
So how is things in jolly old England there, Vladdy?
But it's nice here too to go along with you guys. Cool. Nicest day of the year so far today. Going up to like 20 degrees, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And I see out there in the chat, we got Leonardo out there. Hola, amigo, como está? And we also have, let's see who else. Saiyan Jedi 9977. How's it going? And Alita the Killing Angel. We have, you haven't been here for a couple of weeks, have you, Alita the Killing Angel? I didn't see you last week anyway. And the Bad Man's out there, so that's pretty cool, I think. And I think that's about it in terms of the folks that I see in the chat. Of course, there are probably a lot of folks that are staying silent and I don't blame them not to get involved with us vagabonds too much. So that is what it is. And I just wanted to move on here with the LA Fire Victims fundraiser. We added our good old boy there, David Birch, Angelus. He put another $99 in there, and that was because Panini Freak and Random Bomb came on Radio Chaos last Saturday, or it is in his time
What
zone.
the hell? Did they come on the show?
Yeah, they came on the show, man. It was
Damn it, I
great.
missed them. I love it when they're on.
Yeah, they were cool, you know. But anyway,
They're so funny.
yeah, and I gotta put that $99 into the LA fundraiser. I mean, because that kind of goes into the Alita account, and then I transfer it to the Greater Good. So we'll put that one in there too, as you know, as soon as I get off here today. So anyway,
Did they come on for the manga chat?
I'm sorry.
Did they come on for the manga chat?
Yes, yeah, they did actually.
Cool. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
away last weekend. I'm away
Yeah.
next weekend as well for Easter.
Yeah. Oh, it's next weekend Easter. I didn't, you know.
Is it next weekend or the weekend after?
I don't know. That shows you how religious
No,
I
I
am.
think the weekend after.
Is it not next weekend? 20th of April. Yeah, it must be the weekend after I'm away then.
Yeah. Yes, we do. We do need that sequel. That's for sure. Everybody in the stream here and on the panel would say, yeah, we need that. You bet your butt we do. So anyway, yeah. So if you want to give to the LA Fire Victims fundraiser, there's the link below the image on your screen. That link is also down in the description, and no amount is too small. If it's only $1, €1, a peso, whatever, you know, £1, whatever it is, you know, we help the folks in LA because, you know, they're still rebuilding from that. So it's kind of a horrible thing there to have your, you know, house destroyed by fire like that. So anyway, we've raised, we're coming up on $1,400, and we're going to leave this up until we do
We're closing it.
Well, no, we had a meeting week before last, the Alita Army company thing. You know, we have a meeting every now and then, and I guess everybody on the meeting decided that let's leave it up, you know, until we start a new one. You know, so plus the LA Fire Victims folks you're still recovering from this, so we want to keep helping them. We don't want to, you know, just pull it down arbitrarily. All right. So anyway, moving on, we do have Rosa's Queen Studios bust, and when she's ready for it, we're going to get it to her. That's for sure. Any way she wants it, you know, we'll get that to her, and she wants it. We want to give it to her, and she knows we have it. So you know, it's just a matter of time. When the timing is right, you know, probably a good time would be when they do green light the Alita sequel. That would be the perfect time to do it, you know, right there, because, you know, Rosa is Alita and Alita is Rosa. So, and our queen deserves this. This is not a gift. This is an award from the Alita Army to show our appreciation, our admiration, and affection for our queen, because she is great. She is an awesome actor. We want to let her know that we do think of her and we do love her to death. So anyway, that's that. And we got the Alita sequel petition going, and we've added in the past, let's see, it's been 4.5 months, I think, somewhere in that area. We've added 219 signatures. We added something like, I don't know, 20 signatures perhaps over the last week. So it's kind of moving on. I put a little bit of money in there last week, and it seems to have, you know, kind of kick-started it just a little bit. But if you haven't signed the petition, please do so. You only have to enter your name and your email, and you can specify that as anonymous too, in case you don't want your name and email floating around the internet. And I wouldn't blame you if you didn't, you know. And if you want to give money, you don't have to. But if you do want to donate to this, it goes toward the actual promotion, for the Alita sequel. And we're approaching 180,000, so we're getting up there for sure. And that link you see below the image on your screen there is also down in the description. So all you got to do is click on it, and it'll take you to the site, and you can sign it. And and if you want, you can donate some money to help promote our Girls sequel. And we got the Alita Gaming Network going on here, and of course that's where Smendrick, Lee, and Vladi were just before the stream. But if we're having a lot of fun with this. I wasn't able to log into this week. I think maybe I did one time, but because I've been a little busy this week. But if you do streaming yourself, you can put the link for the stream in there into the gaming network, into that live stream channel. If you've written a fanfic, you can upload that, or you can put the link for your fanfic, in the text channel there for the fan fiction. If you do like artwork, then you can load that up into user creations. And, we've got some voice channels over there. Like one is the Kansas Bar, and the other, that's a new one. We've only had that up for a couple of weeks, I think. And I think Vladi and Smendrick, you guys mainly hanging out in the gaming channel, don't you?
Yeah, anyone's welcome to join. I normally play like an hour before the stream, although this time I played 2 hours before the stream.
Yeah.
Because the stream was an hour later than we had anticipated.
So you guys are having a hoot on that thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still pretty small on this. We haven't been pushing it too much, because I think folks in there like it being small because it's really intimate, and I guess.
I never know where to get the invite link. Where is it again?
Well, it's down in the description below the screen here, So that link below the little chibi Alita, that's down in the description for the stream. So you just click on it. You have to have a Discord username, and certainly to start an account, you got to enter your email. But you don't have to use your email as your username. You can change that so people don't know your email, and it's absolutely free, and we do not charge anything to be a member of the gaming network either. It is also absolutely free. It's just strictly for the Alita Army to have fun with and kind of do your thing. And Smendrick and Vladi, I know, are keen on this, but we have watch parties. Now, we were going to have a watch party last Monday, but the Creek's computer, the one I normally do streaming on, kind of went, belly up on me, so I got it in the shop now being replaced, and I'm on my old computer now. So actually, it is pretty old. I think it's 12 years old. So, but it seems to be doing fine. It's doing fine. It hasn't done anything, and I've been doing my work on it as well. So, but anyway, we're going to have a watch party this Monday, and what was we going to watch there, Smendrick? I forget what it was. It was the last time I think we watched. We watched that Good Crazy that our Queen's in. That was a really cute little short, Then we watched The Trouble with Edward after that. So we had fun doing that. But what were we going to watch at that thing?
Was it something with Rosa?
Yes, it was something with Rosa, but I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, it was not Chariot.
Was it Chariot?
What was it? Chariot?
I don't remember.
I can't remember. We'll see.
Well, we'll have to go back. I'll have to go back and look at I guess we'll have to go back and look at last week's stream.
Yeah.
And I think we announced it right there. Of course, my computer died right after the stream last week. So, so anyway, it was kind of screwy, But anyway, join us on the gaming network. We have a lot of fun with this. Mattu and I kind of manage this thing, but we don't really have a lot to do on it because the Elite Army doesn't do anything inappropriate on here. We don't have any problems there. So it's just folks that want that sequel, and we're all on here having fun. Okay, guys. So anyway, I guess on to the main topic, and I got a lot of bullets there we can talk about, and then the anything else below that is going to be anything. It could be art. It could be, it could be Rosa. Stuff about Rosa if you want to talk about that as well, or her. Talk about her, not that, her. And anything Alita related or Rosa related, we'll discuss there. But any thoughts, guys, that you might want to talk about? That first bullet right there, I'm keen on that one because, particularly in the manga, it shows Alita's character development from when she's like, I guess mentally she's like 14 years old. Well, if you include the Mars Chronicle, she's a toddler, but it goes all the way up until she's like 35 years old or something like that throughout the entire manga. And, it's kind of neat to see how she changes as a person, because even though she's a cyborg, she's still a person, so anyway, what's your thoughts on that? Anybody got anything you want to add to that or bring up something else?
Well, her character development is like one of the best parts. It's all about her character, like how she grows.
Yes. Yeah, we had a stream, I guess, about 3 weeks ago. I think it was 3 weeks ago, where we talked about, how she's really a sweet person. Alita is, but if she perceives you as a threat, she could go sideways on you in a heartbeat, and it's very dangerous if she does.
She's got so much empathy, and she just hates injustice.
Yes.
Which is part of how much empathy she has.
Well, she does not stand by in the presence of evil, does she?
I know, right? She would go to town on those Disney executives.
Yeah, bloody.
I knew it was only a matter of time.
If anything goes stream, maybe I could just rant for 2 hours.
Oh, we don't want to do that, buddy.
Do it. Come on. And all the guys from Disney who are listening to our stream should be informed.
I'm stepping up my Bob Iger critiques on Reddit. I'd always kept my rants away from Reddit just so it's a very more positive place. But after they cut Rosa from Captain America, was it?
Yeah, Captain America 4. Yeah, boy, I was so disappointed. I went to see that.
It's clear now they've just like the gloves have to come off.
I was really disappointed in that, boy. I was really looking forward to seeing Rosa in that, and man, that didn't happen. And her character and that
just got no decency or morality.
Well, her character Diamondback is a pretty important character in that I guess IP, I suppose. And from what I've heard, from some of the reviewers, there's a couple of reviewers I watch, on YouTube, but one of them was going over the script before they kind of redid it and, changed a lot of it. Was that one of the things Diamondback did in the original script, I guess, or maybe the second version or whichever, because they rewrote that thing more than once, is that she actually helps Captain America himself, or Falcon, or whatever you want to call him. She actually helps him beat Red Hulk. So that would have been awesome.
It would have been way more fun if they kept the movie like that, but they would try to make it a super serious thriller, so they just made it really boring.
Yeah. So anyway, I was really disappointed. Now the movie was okay. I mean, it had some, in my mind, it had some problems, but I was entertained. It had some good action sequences in it. But I would have loved to have seen Rosa in some of those action sequences. Man, that would have been great, you know, because she takes that shit pretty serious, you know. I mean, in terms of being in shape and stuff like that, you know, and it would have been awesome to see her, you know, do whatever she was going to do, you know, in the fighting sequence or whatever. So, all right, let's see what we got here. Alita the Killing Angel. I have a burning question. I'd love to know how everyone feels about Alita's dual personality. Her sweetness combined with her rabid anger that destroys everything in sight. So, yeah, we just kind of referenced that a while ago, I guess. You know, Alita, I don't know if it's a dual personality or not, Alita the Killing Angel. I would say it's more like, you know, basically Alita's a sweet person, but if she gets triggered, you know, by a threat or, you know, some, you know, kind of evil, whatever it is you want to think of, she does go into berserker mode, if you'll pardon the expression, you know, because I mean, she's someone that does not like injustice, you know, and she's if she sees something like this, she is going to react to it. You know, I mean, it's not something that she just, well, like I said, she does not stand by in the presence of evil. So, anyway, thoughts, guys. What do you think? Well, let's ask Darlon. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Let's ask Do Not Stand By. What do you think? Do Not Stand By. What's your take on her personality in this regard?
Yeah, I think of the first motorball race that she was in with Tanji, and how she flipped the switch from being so wide-eyed and wow, this is so cool to focused on taking out Tanji at all costs because
Yeah.
how he treated her. I thought that was a great way to really show the dual sides of her personality. But it all is like yin and yang. It's like all the same person in that she really wants to have everybody enjoy life, but when she sees somebody bullying the weak, she really goes after that person.
Yeah, it's almost like she's capricious, isn't it? I mean, I don't think I don't think it's that as much as that if something can trigger her. You know, I mean, there she was there to have fun, like you were alluding to. And when she skates up or when she walks up and she gets on the skates and Hugo is introducing her and she says hi to everybody, she's got a nice smile and she's really having fun. And, you know, it's just, you know, just kind of just a cute teenager going to go out and have fun with her friends, you know, or new friends. And then Tanji but he's a little bit of a prick when he does what he does, you know, and that flipped the switch, like you say, you know, he, you know, and I guess that Panzer Kuntz, although I don't think she intended to seriously hurt him, you know, because she just took him off his feet, took the ball away from him, you know, but although he did flip pretty good, didn't he? So, anybody else got a thought? How about you, Lee?
Well, that kind of thing, those two facets of her personality, I think Kishiro did a lot to bring out in the manga. Like, I don't know if you remember it, one of the manga issues that Maxie read some months ago was when she was first in Motorball.
Yeah.
And she got her new Damascus blade.
Yeah.
And she tried it out by basically casually killing one of the other guys on the track with her. So, yeah, she's definitely got a killer in her.
Yeah.
But there is also that, as other people have said, that compassion, that empathy, that humanity. But she has I guess you could call it a soldier mode.
Yeah.
That definitely comes out in the right circumstance.
Yeah.
Where she'll, without hesitation, kill somebody.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you want to know how I feel about that. Not the biggest fan of it, to be honest, but that's because of my own personal dealings with conflict and stuff.
Yeah.
Bloodshed.
Well, you actually have that in your fanfic too, don't you? I mean, she goes off the rails
Oh yeah, I mean
with
that's
Fenrir.
a very big part of her personality. I mean she's as good of a warrior as she is because she has such a killing instinct or killer instinct, I guess, if you want to put it that way.
Yeah, she does have the killer instinct for sure. She has that.
Yeah, those notes that Cameron had too. He noted that she is aware that she has a bloodthirsty demon in her, and
Yeah,
she tries to hold it in check.
yeah. I don't think she's a psychotic, a
No, she's not
psychopath
psychotic. Yeah,
or
she's not psychotic by
sociopath.
any
Yeah,
means.
yeah.
But they had a thing some time ago during, I think it was World War I or World War II, where they came up with the whole how to train people in train men in infantry. And I can't remember the specific details. Basically, they found out that most of the time, when they had somebody, one of their soldiers on the battlefield, take a shot at an enemy soldier, they would miss. Often, it was intentionally that they would miss. They just shot at the direction of them. They found out that about 4% of the population that went through basic training were natural born killers. They had no problem shooting to kill. Just about everybody else did. So they had to be taught how to. So I think she's one of those 4% that is basically a natural born killer.
Yeah,
doesn't mean she's a bloodthirsty monster, but if there is what she perceives a threat that requires it, she has no problem engaging in it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And that's one of the things you don't want to get on. Well, if you're her friend.
Yeah, there's getting on her bad side, and then there's being a threat to what she cares about.
Yeah. Now, if you piss her off, she's, probably she might give you a gentle tap on the top of your head, some tough love if you want to think of.
Or a not so gentle backhand if you.
Yeah, or something like that. But she's not going to, she wouldn't try to injure you seriously. I mean, she would, like you say, she'd probably slap you or something, knock you down. Because if she slaps you, it's going to be a lot worse than the average person slapping you. But she would probably have to pull back a little bit.
I don't doubt that she would. I mean, if she felt that somebody needed to get knocked upside the head because they were crossing one line too many, and it was somebody she didn't feel a need to, kill.
Yeah.
She's probably not going to, especially if it was a friend, she'd probably just give him a light knock up the head.
Yeah.
Not to hurt him badly, but to let him know it's like, you've gone a little too far.
Yeah. What do you think, Smendrick?
I think it's her character aspects are both sides of the same coin. And I wish I could have been in my life the gentle as she is and strong as she is. We are more average persons. And Kishiro shows what we want to be sometimes. Very strong and very gentle. I like this.
Yeah. And one thing that makes her such a good warrior is her empathy. Like, that sort of drives her to beat the shit out of everyone.
Well, it's not only that, it's like in the manga, that she does actually kind of identify with her opponent. When she was fighting Makaku, it was almost like she felt sorry for him, or something like that, which is Grishka, in the movie.
But at the very least, she understood him in some way.
Yeah, she understood him. That's a better, I guess that's a better description. And in the movie, when she slices Zapan's face off, there was a brief moment there where Zapan was screaming, my face, like that. And they cut back to her, and she had this look of empathy on her face, she felt bad for him, but it's like, hey, you deserve that, kind of thing. That originally she kind of had that almost killer instinct going. Then when she kind of looked at him, after he's screaming with his face in his hand, that she did have that kind of somewhat sad look, that because he was injured, So anyway, that's kind of what I saw in that particular shot. And that shot only lasted like just a few seconds, So if you weren't paying attention, you'd miss it, I think. Anything else you wanted to add there, Vladi, on that? Because I think I might have cut you off, and I'm sorry about that.
No, it was really just that, yeah, she's like a great warrior because she wants to fight to protect the people she loves.
Yeah, if she's gonna protect somebody from a threat like that, I would not want to be that person because she's definitely. Well, she's got superhuman strength for one thing, and she's fast as hell. I mean, if she's after you, you're not getting away. That's for sure, because she's going to outrun you and just, pound you into the dirt. If you're a threat, type thing. But I'm also reminded of that scene in the. She does have an army to back her up. That's exactly right, Angelus. Not that she needs one, but she does. But I'm reminded of that scene where when she in Figure 4 getting a fight in the desert, and for her it was like she was just playing with him, like she just was having fun with it and kind of laughing or stuff like that. It's like Figure 4 says, "I'm tired of you, Miss Angel of Death. I'm going to fight you right now," and she kind of has this look over her shoulder, like, "Okay." and proceeded to beat the crap out of him. And he kept getting up, but she didn't injure him. She didn't injure him seriously. I mean, she beat him up pretty good. I mean, he had some knocks and bruises on him, for sure. But but she didn't intend to really seriously injure him. So. But the look on her face through that whole fight was like she was just having fun. It wasn't even like a sparring session for her. It was just like, I'm having fun with this guy that thinks he's hot shit or something like this, And she perceived him too as not an enemy too, I think, So that's why she didn't really, take him out, in a serious way, So.
Yeah, I compare that with her fight with Japan in the bar the first time they met in the movie.
Yeah.
And she was a bit more vicious with Japan, but that was really to prove a point to all the other folks that were in the bar that she was the strongest person in the room.
Mm-hmm. Well, she even said that, didn't she? "I'll take on anyone in this room." And she meant it.
She didn't take on anyone in that room. She took on everyone in that room.
She took everybody in that room. That's right, for sure. And then, of course, the whole thing that turned into just utter chaos where everybody was fighting everybody else eventually. Yeah. So, for sure, but
even Garrett Warren, the publican.
Yeah, that's right. The guy, the bartender. Yeah,
the stunt director.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, as anything goes, did you hear the Oscars have added a stunt category finally? So hopefully,
did they? I don't watch that.
Added a stunt category.
Yeah, I don't watch the Oscars. It's not for me. It's not that big. It's not that big a deal. I mean.
Well, especially when they snub amazing movies like Alita, it's completely irrelevant. But
well, see, I didn't really get in the Alita Army and watch Alita until March of 2020, so I didn't really realize, about the whole thing. I mean, you guys heard my story, I guess, where I said, first time I saw the trailer, that was during the Super Bowl. And I'm not really interested in seeing a teenage girl beat up cyborgs and androids and shit. That's just not my thing. I don't really care about that. And then I saw it, and I saw it in a hotel room too. I was in, on a business trip, and I was watching TV and I kind of flipping through the channels and I saw, I saw the, HBO thing come on. And I said, well, here's a movie. It's just coming on. I'll give it a chance. It happened to be Alita Battle Angel. And I kind of went, I don't know, but I'll give it a shot. I'll give it and man, Alita had me hooked. Alita and Rosa had me hooked when as soon as she opened her eyes, from getting out of bed, that close-up shot. I went, oh my God, how pretty, kind of thing, And then of course, when we got to the "Fuck Your Mercy" scene, that right there, that hooked me big time. I mean, it was over for me. I said, okay, I'm in this thing now. I'm into this movie. I got to watch it again, And then of course saw the Alita Army. I saw it's on X, or Twitter. And I said, what the hell is this Alita Army thing? And I kind of started watching the posts or the tweets and stuff like that. And then of course, the rest is history, I guess. So.
No going back.
Yep. What's this, Angelus? I bet Rosa had you and Charlie hooked when she got on stage in Pasadena. She sure did, boy. She was freaking awesome in that play. I mean, she's just magnificent. All of those actors in that play were great. I guess Kimberly Scott was super. So was Will Hoffman, and certainly Chukwudi Iwuji was superb in that thing. He played Cyrano himself, and of course our Queen Rosa. She played Roxanne. The kind of the heartthrob of all the guys. Kind of thing, and we could understand it. But anyway, yeah, she was magnificent in that thing. So much so that Charlie and I, now we went on separate. The first day we were there together, but because that's when I met him. And then when I went back, I was by myself, and when he went back, he was by himself. But yeah, she had us, she hooked us, but she was really nice to us, and talked to us for a very long time, probably at least 10 minutes, and just really got the feeling she's a good person, So anyway,
is she still shooting that pilot?
I'm sorry. I think she is.
Still
Yeah.
shooting the pilot, or
No,
is it
I
done
don't.
for series yet? When do we find out if
No,
the execs have greenlit the series?
I don't know, but I think she's done shooting. I don't know, But I think I read somewhere where they finished shooting it about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I think, but I don't know, So, but yeah, she was magnificent, man. She was super, Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox about Rosa because she is definitely she's our queen, and she's great, So, anything else, guys, you want to talk about? We could even go back over this too, because we started out on that first bullet.
Yeah, I was going to mention that we did, going back to the Killing Angels question, we did get to see an aspect of her losing a bit of her humanity when she was in the Badlands arc. What she was like with reduced empathy, sort of having lost herself in her bloodlust.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was one of the notes that Cameron made in that bunch of notes that they had in that one site. Can't remember where it was at. I'd probably look it up. She knows that she has that bloodlust in her, and to some extent, it does. She is afraid of losing control of it, if I remember correctly.
Well,
but you got to see what she was like, and I think Figure 4 helped bring her out of it when he confronted her about the fact that when she was calling Yolg a coward for not wanting to die, it's like, well, he has a wife and child. He's got something to lose.
Yeah.
And that seemed to kind of knock some sense into her a little bit.
Well, he also told her, he said,
there was the other stuff he said, yeah.
Yeah, I love fighting as much as eating, but I don't like wars and the girls that fight in them.
Yeah.
Something like that. Then of course.
Well, that's something me and Figure have in common. I hate war too.
Yes. Well, she kind of the look on her face in the manga, was like surprise, like it's like, wow, he told me something like that, So yeah, for sure,
Well, she had gotten so lost in the bloodlust, trying to lose herself and fighting and everything.
Yeah.
That I think she had lost sight of a great deal of what life had meant to her at one point.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, I guess Zalem, you know, or the tuned folks kind of told, you know, they manipulated her. They told her that all her friends and family were dead, and you have nothing to live for, and you're gonna die in this yellow room unless you come to work for us or whatever.
Well, I think that makes sense when you look back at what they were doing. They were trying to turn her into a killer, into just a killer, so that they could make copies of that killer in her.
Yes.
Which they did with the AR series.
Plus, they wanted to set her loose too as a killer. So yeah, she was off the rails in a lot of that Badlands art until she met Figure. So when she met Figure, it was over. You know, I mean, not originally. I mean, those two had a really contentious start to their relationship. You know, it was just really funny. You know, but you know, it was kind of the opposite of her and Hugo. You know, she kind of had that little infatuation thing going with Hugo immediately, you know, when she saw him, like, oh, this is a cute boy, you know, kind of thing, you know. But with Figure, you know, it's like, you know, she just, you know, I almost got the thing, she just didn't, maybe didn't like, well, I think she liked him, but she didn't, you know, it just didn't do anything for her, I guess, originally, you know. So anyway.
Oh, Killing Angel's got another comment, and it's interesting how she compares herself to a gun. The manga is called Gun Dream, after all. It's like Kishiro is saying her personality. I don't think Kishiro is saying her personality is a gun. I think it might just be a title. There may not be anything more to it than that, but I think it might reference the fact that she was a weapon before losing her mind, or not her memory, and basically going through that kind of personality reset.
Yeah. Well, she did get Danko eventually, didn't she? Yeah. So she did have a gun on her shoulder.
Well, here's another one. As in, you must handle her with care. Well, yeah, that could there could be something to that. You definitely don't want to mishandle her.
Well, I think with her, I don't think you would want to handle her with kid gloves. You know, I mean,
that's true. Yeah,
she probably wouldn't appreciate it.
Yeah, there was who was Ed, when he became angry because she said she was going to stop being a motorball paladin, and he slaps her. She doesn't fly off the handle with him or become murderous with him or even attempt to hurt him in any way or even be angry with him. I think she was just hurt.
Yeah.
More emotionally than anything else, because I don't think physically he was really able to hurt her.
Yeah, I think if you handled Alita, if she was a real person and a cyborg like she is, you know, and you handled her with too much kid gloves, I think to me that would
it'll rub her the wrong way.
Yeah, I think it would too. She would not appreciate that at all, and she would perceive it as
I
weakness.
think the only way to really get on her really bad side and be in danger is to put people she cares about in danger. Yeah. If you aren't doing that, you're not any kind of enemy. I don't think you have anything to worry about then.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Except the occasional backhand for being a prick, maybe. She might do that to you, but yeah.
Well, in that case, I think you're probably really devoted to being a prick if you keep ending up that way.
Yeah, that's right. And after being slapped a few times, if you're around her, you won't want to do that again. So anyway, any other thoughts about her, you know, about her personality, I guess? Did anything else come to mind for you? Do not stand by. I think you might be muted there. Do not stand by.
Well, I was actually going to comment on something.
Go ahead.
In a way, she seems almost like the Major from Ghost in the Shell.
Yes.
I remember there was a scene in, I think it was Standalone Complex. I'm trying to remember if it was in the series or one of the movies. I think it was the series. She meets another cyborg who was a soldier who went rogue, basically. And he went off and started doing his own thing. He became a photographer. He got tired of killing, became a photographer, and I think he started to help villagers in a remote region where he ended up going into. And the Major ends up meeting him, and they start talking with each other. And he tells her something about herself. It's like, you are the kind of person that everybody can count on, but you've realized you can't count on anyone else.
Yeah.
And that kind of reminded me of Alita a little bit, where she always gets disappointed to some degree in the people around her, but they can always count on her to do the right thing.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I think of the movie, though, that there is one person that she could count on until the very end, and that was Ito.
Oh, yeah.
So that was the one major difference between the movie and the manga, that there was somebody that stood for Alita all the way through the end of the story. Hopefully they can continue that in the sequel with Ito being more supportive of her.
Oh, yeah. Well, even in the movie, Ito did have his flaws. Like he was trying to hold her back because he was, I think, understandably afraid of what would happen if this young woman that he rescued out of the junk pile, who, even though he sort of tried to view her as a surrogate daughter, and I guess she eventually did become like a adopted daughter to him.
Well,
he'd only known her for like a few days.
Yeah.
Or maybe a week or so at the point at which she found that berserker body.
Yeah.
So he was very much not wanting to unite her with the body that would have given her more power.
Yeah.
And I can understand why he didn't want to, even though in the circumstance they were in, she kind of needed it.
Yeah.
So there was some flaws to him as well in that.
Well, he was also projecting his real daughter Alita onto her.
Yes, he was projecting a little bit.
Yeah,
well,
for sure.
I think more trying to turn her into something that she was never meant to be.
That's right.
But he did care about her, and at the end, he did do right by her.
Well, he felt bad about it too. He kept saying that when she was all chopped to bits down there in the underworld, he kept saying, "I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry," And you just kind of, just him saying that and carrying her, it just kind of tugged at your heart a little bit, you know. Yeah.
Like I said, at the end, he did finally realize his mistake and tried to rectify it, and was willing to trust her with that power.
And you can see how he came around too by making, putting all that equipment together for her in the what was supposed to be a tryout. Mm-hmm. And he built those wheel feet for her, and he gave her that helmet and that kind of stuff. So I guess if that was a real sport, that would be much more dangerous than, say, American football or rugby or any of that kind of stuff. Or it would, to me, and he accepted it because that's who she was. Now she was doing that because she wanted to make money so her and Hugo could go to Zalem, I guess. But that was still part of her. Just being competitive and combative like that. And certainly motorball is a combat sport. So.
Well, I think he was finally starting to come around to try and be a real father to her, being supportive of her endeavors.
Yeah.
It's like it may not be what he agreed with, but it's what she really wanted to do and really believed in. So he decided to get behind her and support her in it.
Well, that's something most fathers are like that, aren't they?
Yep.
They may not like what their kids are doing, but in some regard. But, if they're a good father, then they will support them. That's the way I think anyway. Anyway, I've got 3 kids, so, that's that. They're 3-step kids anyway. Yeah. Any other thoughts, guys? One thing I also wanted to talk about a little, we did touch on the Badlands arc, is that the Zot. The Zot is a different animal. It's not like motorball. It is purely combat. It's not, trying to race and get the ball past the finish line or something like that.
I think it's like a stand-in for a war between the colonies.
Yeah, I think so.
It's like instead of engaging in an all-out war against each other like they used to, they sort of distilled it down into this contest where they have representatives of each of the nations compete.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like the Olympics, huh?
Kinda, except people die a lot.
People get killed in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. You know,
except for the case of Mercury, in which case they send that huge nanotech thing, which is, well, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah. So, Vladi, I guess you haven't gone that far yet, have you? In the manga, you're just past the motorball arc, aren't you?
No, I'm still waiting for some kind of closure on the sequels, Jimmy Cameron.
Yeah, but you have read some of the manga, though.
I've read up to the end of the motorball arc.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, yeah, it would have been nice to know what's happening with the sequels, and he could be like, "Oh, it's still like 5 years away." Then maybe I'd be like, "Oh, okay, better read it now." But no, I'm just in like a headspace of like, what's going on? I'll just keep waiting for now, and I'm sort of stuck there.
Yeah. Well, I enjoy reading the manga myself. I think it's Kishiro is just he's just a really good writer. He's a good storyteller, and he draws all his own art. That to me is amazing. That he can do that, and the way he depicts action, it's kind of like you see in that panel on the lower right hand corner there. There's no doubt that is a sidekick that Alita is levying on that sonic finger guy. So, and in some of the motorball sequences, that just the pure, the way he, I guess, illustrates speed, is just amazing. And in the Zot, how he illustrates, I guess the severity of fights, I think is awesome, that he can do that. He's really talented, so, and we're lucky that he, came up with Alita. And certainly we're lucky that James Cameron, that Guillermo del Toro turned him on to Alita. And of course, from there, Robert Rodriguez and getting Rosa and all that kind of stuff. I think everything fell into place for us on that as the Alita Army, because, couldn't have been a better bunch of folks that, actually were involved in this, I think. Because when you think of some of the movies now are coming out of Disney, not all of them, like Deadpool and Wolverine, I enjoyed the heck out of that. I thought it was really good, And,
it's still just like callback, jokey, like low bottom of the barrel stuff, in my opinion.
Well, Deadpool and Wolverine, I did enjoy that quite a bit. I thought it was good.
My brothers did too. I'm just not in the mood for comedies.
It's just not your thing, huh, Vladi?
Well, it's a lot of like nostalgia for the Fox era of X-Men and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So I'd probably just get pissed off about the merger and everything. So,
well, I think if you look at things objectively with the movies most of the movies that have come out of Disney, they've been, a couple of them have just been abject failures. Like the Marvels as an example. And say, I guess what was that one series they had on the Acolyte? I guess was another one, and it's just, gosh, you put out this guy, and then Snow White now is another next one that's come up.
How's that doing now?
It didn't do very well. I haven't looked at the box office, but from what I've seen in the some of the reviews, that people just don't want this. Snow White's is an established story, and certainly you can put a little bit difference, kind of come up with some differences in it and stuff like that. But people already know who this is. They know the story. If any child that went to a Disney movie eventually did see Snow White and the Seven Dwarves, stuff like this. And it's, to me, I think just people are tired of it. I think they want to see something new, and this is why we need these sequels.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Alita was the antithesis of like all of the creative bankruptcy of Bob Iger throughout the 2010s. It like came out in 2019 at the end of a decade. It was just a bunch of live action remakes, and now thankfully they're all flopping. But will Bob Iger learn? I don't know. It seems like he hasn't.
Well,
He's
I do
so
know.
stubborn.
Well, I do know in 2023. At the end of 2022, of course, Avatar came out and it was a smash. Man, that thing was huge. Made $2.3 billion, and by the end of 2023, Disney had lost $1.2 billion net. So, I mean, to me, and that's because I don't know, because I'm not into that part of it, but it seems to me something's wrong when you start out a year with $2.3 billion and end up 1.2 billion in the hole. What's wrong with that picture? That's I mean, certainly we don't know the ins and outs, that's for sure, but
We need to know, like, what? Obviously, there's got to be some drama between Disney and Cameron if the sequels still haven't happened. When he obviously wanted to do them between the Avatar movies.
Well, I think
didn't
we're
Randall explicitly say, "Oh, the technology from Avatar, like 3 and 4, will lead into Alita 2 and 3, and then vice versa."
Well, if I think if Cameron I mean, certainly I want Robert Rodriguez I want him to direct it, but I think if Cameron took kind of he got more involved with it, I think it'd go nuts in terms of making money. I mean, I think it would be a money maker, because how many people have we seen on social media say, "I wish I had seen this movie," when it came out? A bunch. Why didn't somebody tell me about this movie or something like this? And I think,
Well, they're going to have to do something different. They should have just immediately greenlit it after Avatar 2 came out, and then got Rodriguez making it like after Avatar 4 was finished. But seems like they missed the boat there.
yeah.
Assumedly, because I'm assuming it's because Bob Iger was being an arsehole.
Well, they want to double down and triple down and quadruple down on Marvel. That's what they want to do, and Star Wars at the time.
That's the thing. Like, when it came out, I was so jaded with every franchise I used to like. Like, the sequel trilogy that Disney made was just total dog shit. And
Yeah.
Marvel just never gripped me because I was an adult by the time the Avengers came out. So why would I want to watch those movies? They're obviously made for children. And like, what else have they got? Nothing interested me. So Alita came along, and it was finally like a new franchise. I had so much going for it. It was like a passion project, and it had such a great future ahead of it with all these amazing books that I hear are so good that would make for amazing movies. And I couldn't wait to see the rest of the story. And it feels like Disney just came along and just totally destroyed something beautiful. It feels like on a human culture level, it feels like a satanic level of destruction. And I don't know. I just feel like Disney is so evil.
Yeah, I certainly I want Disney to succeed, but I think if they would greenlight the Alita sequels, they would go a long way to them making more money along with the avatars.
They might be making sequels to the amateur movie. It's like it looks like like a really generic spy thriller. I just happened to be on it on Twitter just now. The amateur stars and director break down that twist ending and plans for a sequel. Obviously, his wife's still alive. That's obviously the twist. God, I'm so sick of how 20th Century Fox is being run. It's just really bad. Like, I don't want to see a bunch more Apes movies too. I'm not. It's like, ugh.
Yeah, we've seen enough Planet of
Seen
the
enough Apes
Apes.
movies. Seen
Yeah.
enough Aliens movies. I've seen enough Predator movies. I don't give a shit. I just want to I don't know. Something needs to wake these these executives up.
Well, they're doubling and tripling down
They
because
keep ignoring my tweets. I'll have to get increasingly aggressive, I fear.
Well, don't get too aggressive, Vladi. We don't want to piss them off too much. That might make them reticent, or incalcitrant, that they won't want to do it,
Well, they're not going to do it, then there's no point. Cameron just needs to fess up to what's going on.
Well, when Cameron gets through with the avatars, I think we will see something, you know. But
That's
I have a
like
lot. Well, I got a
5
lot of.
years away,
No,
6 years away.
I don't think so.
It's literally 6 years away. Avatar 3 is coming out Avatar 5 is coming out in 2031.
Yeah, and Avatar 4 is coming out, what, in 2028? Is that what it is? Something like that, isn't it?
I mean, the next hope is that when there's a bit of a break between Avatar 3 and 4 production, he'll move the Alita sequel forward. But he's not even talking about Alita, so talking about that Hiroshima
well, he's not
movie,
talking
which
about
he's
Alita.
basically been peer pressured by the Hollywood establishment to make because they're so sick of him making these big budget CGI films. And it seems like he wants some accolades from the Oscar kind of group, which I think is really weak and pathetic. He should have just gone straight into Alita.
Well, he's not talking about Alita publicly, but he is talking about it. You know, I mean, I think I think that I think him and Rodriguez and Rosa are talking about it still. I think they still are. And, you know, they want to do it. All the other actors that were involved want to do it. I know Elle Lamont said she would love to come back into it, you know, and, you know, Jeff Fahey said he would love to do it as well. You know, I mean, these people want to do it. You know, it's just a matter of, lining things up, I guess, you know, because, you know, I do know that they are talking about it. So, but not publicly. Some of them are, like Jeff Fahey said he was this summer. I guess he was going to go to.
Why can't they talk about it publicly?
I have no idea, Vladdy. I'm not in that circle.
There was a whole Rodriguez did a big press event launching his brass knuckle films thing in literally the Alita set, and you're telling me not one of the many journalists invited there asked him what was happening with the Alita sequel? It just doesn't make sense.
Well, I do know he's going to have a investors meeting because I'm going to it because I invested some money into it, and I think Alita Rave is as well. He's invested or is going to. I think for him it's a scheduling thing. I think depends on when it's going to happen, but who knows what we'll see when we get there. You know, I mean, if they ask
when are those meetings?
I don't know yet. It hasn't been scheduled, so I know it's still got like 40-something days left on the. We're
gonna have to suffer through 3 low budget generic action films from Rodriguez before he gets to Alita, aren't we? So tragic.
We'll see. We'll see, Vladdy. So it looks like Do Not Stand By had to leave. So anyway, he's gone. So
he left in protest at my Doom.
I don't think that's it. I don't think that's it. So anyway, let's get back to this. We got off the rails. So anything?
You did say it was anything goes discussion.
Anything? That's right. Anything else? That's right. Well, Smendrick, what do you think? Anything you want to talk about related to Alita or Rosa, let's say?
I would say I like to agree with Vladdy. That should be enough.
Well,
okay.
Well, Vladdy says what we're all thinking. That's for sure.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. It's so true. Yeah? We lose such a lot of time. And I tell you what, not even our elder Alita army members don't have this time. But the entire movie industry, and especially Disney, does not have this time. They cannot longer wait for totally different movies than they did in the past. They have to change their politics. they have to overlook their strategies. Yeah? I'm thinking a bit like a businessman because I have been this for many years. Yeah? So, yeah, it's the point. That's my view. And related to Alita, of course, give Alita her sequels. God damn it.
Well, the bad man says, how do they expect to maintain the whole of the fan base if they don't talk about Alita sequels publicly? And well, for me, bad man, you know, I'm small potatoes compared to these people, but I'm going to do everything I can to help maintain the fan base. Now, that's not the whole fan base, you know, but you know, because I want the sequels bad enough that I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is, you know, on some of this stuff. So, and I want it.
Yeah,
You know.
That's another thing that's like weird. Why would they? The silence is obviously not helping grow the fan base. I mean, maybe they'll do something in December when the new book launches and Cameron's got Avatar 3 in the can and he's promoting it. Because that's when they did, they teased it. They teased the sequels of the Avatar 2 premiere, but I don't know. It's just like
they
the
did
silence
push.
is deafening.
They did push Avatar 4 back a couple of years, so you know.
So I'm trying to know which ones were being simultaneously worked on. Was it
Avatar
2 and 3 that were worked on at the same time?
They did some, yeah. They've done some of 3.
I'm gonna pull up.
No, sorry, yeah. They did 2 and 3 at the same time.
Yeah,
and they've done a bit of 4, but not much.
well, they did most. They did
shot
most
all
of. They did most of 3. They didn't do all of it, but they did most of it. So I'm gonna see what the.
Well, I don't know. I have an idea, and that could be, you know, use different other things to get some interest. I know I didn't do Gun Election Memory this week. Some things came up, but I did put in 2 short videos the last minute today. So, but I was thinking of doing other games, but you know, I'll still talk about Alita on them. Like I was going to play Star Fox or Metal Gear Solid, but I could still talk about Gundam. If someone stops by and visits during that stream.
Yeah, I might check that one out. I'm trying to look at James Cameron's IMDb page. I want to. It's my computer. This computer is slow.
I'll let everyone know when I play Metal Gear Solid, but you know, I could talk about Alita stuff while I'm doing that, though.
Well, it says here that Avatar 4 and Avatar 3 and Avatar 4 are in post production. So, and they're filming Avatar 5. So, if they've got 3 and 4 in post and they're filming 5, you know, it's. I mean, you know, I just really have a lot of confidence that things are going to bust loose here in the not too distant future. You know, that's my opinion. I don't have anything to base that on except my opinion, you know. So anyway, that's that. And if they've got Avatar 4 is in post and they pushed it back to 2028, that to me is a positive sign right there. That's what I think anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. I mean, you obviously want to build on something that gives you the most money, but at the same time, you kind of want to take a risk with something.
Anything else, you guys?
Oh, I do. Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Chaos up here, but how would he work in the film? Like, Destiny Nova's up in Zalem, but mutants are illegal in Zalem. Chaos is a mutant.
Yeah, that's right. And they won't let mutants up in Zalem, will they?
Yeah, I'm just saying. The whole fundamental story is that Destiny Nova would care, and I made a whole thing about the origin, is that presumably it was something that was abnormal to him when his son was born, because it was something he didn't seem to expect. That's what it seemed to imply, but that whole thing implies that he wasn't a father until he was out of Zalem.
Mm-hmm. Destiny Nova, father. Boy, that's a scary thought.
That and I just don't know how it works. That, and I think the whole idea is that it's because of chaos that Ito finds out about Ito meets Destiny Nova. He finds out the kid has special powers. The kid was chaos, anyways, and then he wonders, okay, where does he come from? And that's where he finds Destiny Nova's mansion, right there.
Yeah, Volume 10. That's right. Alita the Killing Angel, Volume 10 is coming out for Mars Chronicles here. I think it's already out in Australia, if I'm not mistaken, but we don't have it here yet. So it's just a matter of time, I guess. So you guys want to talk about Hugo, Figure 4, and Chaos? I mean,
yeah, sure.
So my thought is that, well, you guys kind of know my thoughts already, but I'll say that my feelings about Hugo as a character. Now, granted, these are all fictional characters for sure, but Hugo, kind of my initial impression of him, I was very negative because
he was kind of a punk.
Yeah, he was a punk, but also that scene where he has he drinks, with Vector, and Vector, gets him to, get Alita to try out for the second league, and and after that, he had that drink with him and made that deal when he saw those grind cutters on Gerwishka in the Kansas bar, and that was before that. And I thought he was a little shit, for doing that. But, as time went on, I guess, he did treat Alita very well in the movie for sure. Not the manga's different, but. And, it was just that ending scene where, he dies, that was just heart wrenching. That one was, and hearing Alita scream like that, when his arm broke. But, but I think that relationship to me, although I do think it came around, but originally it started out as just, teenage, kind of infatuation type stuff. And then later on, I guess as time went on and she got her berserker body and all that, and she had this self-image of herself as a woman as opposed to a little girl, that, I think their relationship improves, particularly when Hugo saw her when she kind of was running across the rooftops, like in Sonic Finger, and jumps down on the street and he sees her and all that. And it's like, whoa, wait, what's going on here? She is really good looking, that's kind of the look on his face to me is what it said, but it was that kind of a, almost like love at first sight thing. But with her in Figure 4, it was totally different. It's like these two were really at each other, in a lot of ways in the beginning. And then of course, as time goes on, they form a closer bond. And I think that particular relationship, I think, was much deeper than the one she had with Hugo. And as far as Chaos is concerned, I don't think Alita actually really loved Chaos like she did Figure 4 or Hugo, but she did respect him quite a bit, I think,
I'm not so sure about respected him a bit. I mean, she had some respect for him, but she seemed
that's true.
really irritated with him because in her eyes, he wasn't living up to his potential.
Yeah, that's right. I agree with that. Yeah.
She did seem to kind of like him, though.
Yeah, she liked him, I think.
There was some affection there, but yeah, she didn't seem particularly
it wasn't romantic
into him or anything.
Yeah, it wasn't romantic, but yeah, she did like him, I think. And I thought I liked that set of panels where he's kind of getting she's on the gurney or whatever, and he's getting frisky with her, trying to, I don't know if he's repairing her or whatever, and she just wakes up and slugs the crap out of him. I just love that panel. That was just funny as heck. But I think her and Figure 4, they had more of an adult relationship, I think, in terms of, how they started out and how they ended up. And she actually lived with Figure 4 for a month, maybe 2 months on the outside, probably 6 weeks, maybe, who knows how long. The manga doesn't really go into that. So, living together like that's a little different than just, kind of like with her and Hugo, it's almost like they were dating or something, I guess, so I think it's a little more serious with Figure 4 in that regard anyway. So what do y'all think about that?
Yeah, it definitely seemed like a more serious sort of connection between her and Figure 4.
Yeah, I think so. What do you think, Vladi?
About Radio Chaos?
No, man. About her relationships with Hugo, Figure 4, and Chaos.
Well, I'm looking forward to her relationship with Figure 4. It's the story Rosa was most looking forward to telling.
Oh, yeah. Rosa was really, she said, in that interview, so what are you looking forward to? And, people you meet, Figure 4. Yes. Yes. That was awesome. So, because he does. And here's another thing about Figure 4 versus Hugo, too. Figure 4 kind of meets her on her level. They're both combatants. They both have similar, outlook on things. At least after he got her back at, got her to rediscover her humanity. For sure. I just think they were much closer as people, than say her and Hugo. Anyway.
Yeah, her relationship with Hugo was obviously like a whirlwind teen romance thing, but I thought it was really sweet, and it was.
I did too. I thought it was. Yeah, and people really malign that. I've seen reviewers malign that particular romantic that part of this movie, and I thought it was nice. To me, I thought it was natural. For me anyway, I enjoyed the heck out of it. Of course, anything that Alita's in, I'm going to enjoy it. So anyway. Well, let's see. What about, I think we pretty much hit everything, haven't we? Maybe we haven't talked about well, we did talk about family and friends somewhat, didn't we? Oh, I know one thing I want to talk about, and that is the Zerkerpan arc. This is going to happen right after the Motorball arc, because the way this thing all gets started, of course, is that, Zapan sees Alita competing on the big screen, or on TV or something like that in Motorball, and it just triggers him big time, and he accidentally kills Sarah, and then, of course, one thing leads to another, and eventually, he gets the Motorball body, not the Motorball body, the Berserker body, and turns into an absolute monster, because that body will conform to the person's self-image of themselves. And he was an absolute monster. And of course, Alita has to fight him with just her civilian body, and he's got the Berserker body. So that is something that's going to be really awesome. And that would be, and I think, so what do y'all think? What do you think about that, Smendrick?
Wait here, we
yeah, you're muted. Yeah,
yeah, always muted. Just to avoid strange noises and rays and whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Batman.
Let me say, it all depends on the next casting list.
Yeah.
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 which would lead us to talk about sequels. Did we ever talk about sequels? No, damn it, we didn't.
Let me count the ways.
Man, make a notice. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Huh? I trust Robert Rodriguez and James Cameron.
I do too. Alita the Killing Angel asks, the part where Alita defeats Zapan in the manga seems a bit unclear what actually happens. Well, I don't want to spoil too much Alita the Killing Angel, but I would say you already know that Alita defeats Zapan, and it's kind of it kind of just takes you right into, it's like a transition point after that to get into the Badlands arc. Because it was right after that she goes into the yellow room. Isn't it Chaos? I can't remember, but she goes into the yellow room and she's in there for a while, and that's when Zalem, or say the tuned program, I guess Bigot Eisenberg or somebody said, "Hey, you either work for us or you're going to die." In this
I think it was Bigot Eisenberg that met her in there.
Yeah. So, but anyway, it was a hell of a fight. That's for sure, and I don't want to give away too much. I will say this, is that Zerkerpan actually destroys half of Iron City, just totally destroys it, because he's just a big, huge monster pretty much, and he just wreaks havoc on Iron City, destroys the Kansas bar, and that was Kansas Bar 2, I think, wasn't it? From what I remember. And of course, Alita ends up killing him, but that's all I want to say about Alita Killing Angel. You already know what happened, I guess, or at least you know what the outcome is. So I suggest you read it, because it's really an awesome arc, that whole thing. What is it, Chaos?
Oh no, the part where she sliced off Zapan's face in the manga.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of the start of the whole.
They tried to recreate it in the movie.
Yeah. Well, that started the whole thing, didn't it? Yeah, different details, but that kind of started the ball rolling on that Zerkerpan arc, didn't it? Because now she humiliated him in the Kansas bar, and now she cut his face off after that. He's got an axe to grind now, is what he's got, So
yeah. That's when he has no face, and he killed Sarah.
Just got bandages, doesn't he? I guess the bandages are holding his face on or something, I guess. Okay, well, anyway, I just wanted to bring up that Zerkerpan arc, because I'm looking forward to that in the in the second movie. And I think Rosa is going to be great, because we're going to get to see her fight again. That's going to be awesome. And then, of course, we're going to get to see her also compete in motorball again, I think. Anyway, that's my wish, anyway, that we get to see that. So, well, guys, anything else? I think we kind of hit everything, haven't we? Pretty much.
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's anything goes, so we could literally talk about anything else.
Yeah, I mean, do you guys
know what I'm pissed off about as well? That's probably another reason why I'm in a bad mood. The bloody tariffs are probably going to screw up the... I'm still waiting for that doll body arm. The doll arm, the life-size arm of that. Yeah. And it's really pissing me off that I still haven't got it. And now the tariffs have come. So the shipping, they're probably going to add like £1,000 to the shipping or something ridiculous like that, because I've already paid for the actual thing. I assume they can't add more costs onto that. Now
well, if you've already paid for it, I
paid it in full, so they can't add more, can they? But I haven't paid for shipping yet, because I'm an international buyer. I'm buying from an American company. If Toys Wonderland hadn't screwed me over back like years ago, I would have had the doll body arm ages ago.
Well, don't get me started on this crap, with tariffs and politics. We want to keep away from that with Alita, but it pisses me off.
I know, I'm
But
just annoyed with it.
let's move away from that.
I just want my bloody lot. I want my, like, I feel like the final Alita statues I'll probably get, so I just want to get them.
Mm-hmm.
That is if the sequels don't come out.
Well, it said, at least Badman says Volume 10's out, so he got it on Amazon, so I'm gonna go get it. So yeah, thanks for putting that out there with Badman, because I didn't think it was ready yet. It was available, but it is. So.
Oh my god, they're going for £2,500 the doll arms on eBay.
Jesus
I was
Christ.
thinking maybe I should cancel my one from the American purchaser and try and buy one from straight from China or something, so at least then we won't have to deal with tariffs.
I take it they've been giving you the runaround if you ask about what the holdup is?
They just basically, I asked Spec Fiction, which is the store I've ordered from, and they just totally just guessed some random date. Now they've said June, but they told someone else it'll be May or April. So basically they just have no idea. It's probably not going to come for ages still. Maybe they should just wait now. Hope maybe the tariffs will get reversed eventually or something.
Well, I think there was
my luck will be in World War III, and then
well, Vladi, I think there's been a 90-day pause put on the tariffs, except for
not
China.
for China.
So yeah,
which is the only one that matters.
So if you're going to buy something from China, be prepared to pay 150% more than you would normally pay. So it's going to be pretty mental. It's going to be killer. So. But let's get off of this, because I'm going to start ranting if I get into this one. So, and I think you guys, everybody on this stream knows my political proclivities, so we don't need to address that.
I just don't believe in politics. I just think we're just being railroaded to some horrific future, including not getting Alita sequels probably. My one hope for the world was that we might have Alita sequels.
We are going to get the Alita sequels.
Hopefully.
We are going to get
steal it from us.
We're going to get the Alita sequels. I am extremely confident of that. So, all right. So, anything else, guys, that you can think of that you might want to talk about?
What else was bugging me lately?
Well, go ahead and put it on us, Vladi.
I can't remember.
Well, I was going to say maybe put up some Channel's fanfic, Maxie's fanfic.
Oh,
some things that people can check out. Because Maxie, especially, he's doing or he's attempting to do his own rendition of what the sequel might be, a novelization of what he thinks the sequel might look like. And I think it turned out pretty good. Up until chapter, I think, 10, when he had other stuff come up and he hasn't been able to continue it. But what he's got there is pretty good.
Well, I think Maxie's got a bunch of stuff on I guess he's got that on the Alita Gaming Network, and I think Channel does too. And her name on the Alita game on this Discord is actually Error, ERROR.
Yeah.
So and I think Panini Freak's got something on there, excuse me, as well. So yeah, you can do that. Now, what do we want to bring that? You want me to bring it up here and just show folks?
Well, I figured you might mention it at least. Let people, if anybody hasn't been aware of it, maybe they could, if they're interested, to go check out those.
Yeah, you'll get some of that here. Is what you'll get if you they'll put the fanfic stuff, and of course, let me go. I'm going to put Lee. I'm going to put your. I'm going to go get your fanfic URL is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to put that in the chat. So if people want to read that, I highly recommend it. Let's see. Let me find it here. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to put the first one I'm going to put up is Lee's fanfic. So if anybody wants to read it, it's absolutely free. You don't need to purchase anything or anything like that. And of course, Lee appreciates any constructive criticism or whatever, because he loves that stuff. So
Yep. if you happen to read it and you see anything that doesn't make sense, or some part doesn't flow well, or somebody's hard to understand character-wise, let me know. I'll change it, do something, try to work with it.
Let's see. I think this is Maxie's right here. I think. So if you want to read Maxie's fanfic, is what he envisions is going to be in, I guess, Alita Fallen Angel. Let's see.
Yeah, I think he came up with a interesting way of dealing with Nova's presence on the ground and in Zalem.
Yeah, I'm going to put James Cameron's notes. If anybody wants to read that.
There's some interesting stuff in there.
Yeah, for sure. There it is. So, Chaos, you got anything you want to put in the private chat? We can put it in the public chat.
I'll mention, show the video where I showed the music from the scene in the manga that was intended by Kishiro. Just a minute. I'll find that. I'll find it.
Okay. Well, like I say, there's if you go on Discord, get a Discord username and you can join the Alita Gaming Network. And like I say, you do not have to put your real name. You can make up a name. Certainly, you don't think my name is Creek Indian.
No.
Creek's not my first name, and Indian's not my last name for sure. But so you can use any name, and you can upload your own avatar and all that stuff. So anyway, here's Lee's fanfic. There's Maxie's fanfic.
We should do like a fanfic reading or something from some of the streams.
Now that is a great idea, Vladi. Why didn't I think of that?
I was thinking of it before, thinking that'd be a nice, relaxing, positive stream.
I think you just came up with next week's topic. Yeah. I don't know, Lee. Do you object to us reading maybe some of your fanfic on the stream?
Not really. I mean, if people are interested, sure. I mean, I could probably do some reading of the chapters.
Yeah, bedtime story. I'll go on the stream in bed. You can read me my bedtime story, Lee.
Let me see if I can find let's see what we got here.
So as I did this video, it is copyrighted because it's O Fortuna from Carmina Burana, and I have a short video with the Latin lyrics actually, but the music is copyrighted. But you can check out the video at the link on your own.
Here's that link. So there that one is. If you want to check that out on Chaos's channel. Let's see. See if I can find. Okay, I'm getting another one. Let's see. Now I put mine in there as well. It's a YouTube video actually, and it's I do a reading on it. And now I'm not like Lee or Maxie, I don't write novels. It's a short, but it was fun putting it together, and I'm actually redoing it right now. Eventually I'm going to make it a little more presentable, but the story, the story's still good. So if you're interested, you can read that.
To the point, comes with illustrations and
yeah. Okay, so anyway, you can go if you join the Alita Gaming Network. There's a whole bunch of other fanfics on there that you can, read. I think, like say, Channel's got one on there. Panini Freak's got one on there. Maxie's got an additional one on there, and the link to Lee's is on there. So there's several of them in the fan fiction channel. So if you join, you can start reading that stuff. Yeah, I know it's not the sequels, but hey, it's stories about Alita, so maybe that'll hold us over for a while anyway. Okay, guys, I can't think of anything else unless you guys got. Let's see, where are we? Yeah, there we are. Anything else you guys can think of?
I'm kind of drawing a blank there. I think
Well, I've got to start working on it. That's all I've got to say.
Yeah, let's keep it going for our girl and our queen, because if we can, we want to. If you give up, it's kind of like that. I don't know if you guys ever saw that movie Josie Wales, but there's a scene in there where, they're being surrounded by Comanches, or they are expecting to be surrounded by Comanches, and they're kind of getting the house they're in is getting ready for a siege, and he says, if you give up, you neither live nor win. Now he was talking about fighting, fighting for your life, but this is kind of, Alita doesn't give up. So anyway, if you give up, you neither live nor win. And he says, if it gets down to it, you just got to get plumb mad dog mean, kind of like Vladi is. So,
Well, it's justified.
Yeah, it is. Well, Vladi, you're only saying what we're all thinking. So, I mean, that's okay. Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes I think Vladi gives Bob Iger too much credit.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Lee's being facetious, I think.
I don't know. I know I've got to get something new, but I've got quite a backlog at this point of what I did earlier.
Also, yeah, I think Bob Iger doesn't actually have much power. I think there's some kind of shadowy force controlling him.
I wish I had enough money to buy 51% of Disney stocks.
Yeah, lay down the law.
Yeah, I'd buy it all up and become the chairman of the board, and that'd be the end of that, So anyway, all right. Well, I can't think of anything else either. I think we kind of hit all of this, and we've had similar streams about general discussions about our girl anyway.
Yep.
Okay, unless you guys want to show some fanfic. Not fanfic, rather artwork.
Fan art?
Yeah, fan art, rather, not fanfic.
Well, if you happen to have any, maybe show a few slides of that. Might be interesting to see.
Well, let's see what I got. Let's see what I got. We'd want to show the newer stuff, I think.
I've been playing around with ChatGPT's Alita, AI Alita.
Oh, yeah? Can
it
render images?
ChatGPT can, yeah.
Oh, cool. I got to go check that out.
It does I like the way it does the cyborg bodies, and it's not as sensuous than some of the other ones. And it actually, a lot of the other ones won't show the whole cyborg body. It will just do the headshot. But with ChatGPT, it seems a lot more easier to do full body shots.
Let me pull this up here. Let me there, I guess you guys can see that okay, can't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is the newer stuff, I think.
Wonderful.
Yes. Man, that is really good. And I don't know who did this. Let me double check here. Let's see who did this. Someone called Emily Megan Art did this.
I knew it was Emily.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Yes, it is very good. Yeah. That, oh, it says
sorry
that
I
right
don't talk as much. I'm just setting up material.
This is really, really excellent right here. Wow, really good. This one I think's been around a while, I think.
Yeah, that's very cropped as well.
Yeah. NeoArtCore.com is where that one came from. And this is by someone called Alita Wesker.
Very Miyazaki-esque.
Yes.
That's got to be AI. I'm pretty sure that's AI.
Is that AI? It may be so.
That might be, yeah. There was a thing going around recently where somebody was using AI to do a lot of Miyazaki sort of reworks of pictures and things.
And there's our guy Tampion right there. Man, he
yeah.
is really good. Tampion is really an exquisite artist. He's really good.
Which Rodriguez retweeted as well.
Yeah, he retweeted this, didn't he?
He did indeed.
Wait a minute, I went too fast. No, that was the only one. Now that's one I did right there. Well, I didn't do it. But what I did was I took a scene out or panel out of the manga, and I painted this flag, Ukraine's colors. Like, Alita is now, on Ukraine's side or something like that. So no politics, guys. Yes, this is, now I think this is, this right here is, I think that's AI, isn't it? I'm not sure.
Langenthorpe, I think.
Yeah, Langenthorpe did this, yeah.
Or I think it is him.
Or whoever this is, AKA WAG 2, 13, 19, 1, 10, 15, whatever. But anyway, what I do like about this is Alita sequels now. So I like that. We want those Alita sequels. And I think this one here is also AI. Oh, that's nice. The fallen angel will rise again. Man, that is super.
Nice. Yeah,
I think that one's been around for a while, I think.
Yeah. But beautiful.
Now, some of these I put in a video last week, I think it was. That's kind of cute. I think it's AI, though.
I don't think that's AI.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me back up. You don't think this is AI?
No, I think someone drew that.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember what's his name. I know him quite well, but I can't remember who.
And
it's like digital art.
This is someone who's, I guess, posted this and said, "Happy birthday, Creek."
I think that was my edit.
Is that yours? Okay, yeah.
That's my edit, yeah. It's just a clip. It's just a screenshot from the manga with a crappy P. It's not very well done.
Oh, it's all right. It's a thought that counts. But
yeah,
I know as far as the Creek's concerned, you don't have near enough candles on there.
Yeah.
And that is nice right there.
That's AI.
Yeah, AI for sure. But there's another one by Tapion. Oh, that is great right there. Yes. I really like this.
What is this? Your folder fan art?
Yeah, this is fan art right here. Yeah.
Is it just a folder of some random fan art?
Yeah, sometimes I mess up and download it into the wrong folder,
Mm.
And I think that's AI. Boy, it's cute though. It does look like Alita, doesn't it? Kind of dark though.
Mm.
Yeah, that's That's my PFP right there at Christmas time. So anyway, anyway, I think that's not. Oh, I like this one right here. That's cute.
Yeah, with the
Of course,
long hair.
Alita is cute, so we know that, don't we? And that's been around a while. That's from the manga. Yeah, and this one I put in one of my videos.
Like it.
Yes.
And this one, yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a real good one. That one's a real good one. That's just something I threw together. Yeah, I like that one too. Whoa. Cute. Kind of a little bit endowed there on that one, Alita.
Bit strange as well. Like,
yeah. Happy Alita Day. Excellent.
Yeah.
oh, I think I made that one.
Who made that one?
I think I made that one. That's
Cool.
AI.
Okay. This one might be something we use on September the 9th.
Yeah. I think I made it for the Japanese contingent.
Yeah.
Another
Oh, that's
AI.
cute. Yeah, but it's cute though. And there's our little Chibi Alita mascot right there for the gaming server. That's
Artist
cute.
unknown.
That is really cute. I don't know who did this. I wish I knew who did this. Whoa.
That looks
Nice.
good.
Is that AI?
I don't think so.
I don't
Possibly.
think it is.
I don't know. I mean, just a lot of fan art doesn't quite look like Alita anyway.
Yeah.
It's still hard to tell.
I tell you though, the look in her eyes, I wouldn't want to piss her off. That's for sure.
Indeed.
I'm thinking it's probably not AI because she actually has brown eyes.
That's true.
Yeah.
And that is definitely AI
Easy
right there.
indicator, yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely AI right there. That's been around a while. That one has. And that one has too. So I think we're getting to the older ones. They're cute though. Wow, look at the detail on that. Wow-wee. That looks like Tapions, but it isn't. It's
no.
I can't Bruno Barnes, I guess, or Bruno Barn. Looks a lot like Tapion's work though, doesn't it? Kill Nova. That's AI.
That one was from Lead Apprentice.
That's yours, isn't it, Vladdy? That's one of yours, isn't it,
Tapion.
Vladdy?
I can't draw. No, it's Tapion's.
Oh, that's Tapion's? Okay.
Yeah, it's not AI. I can't draw.
Look at the stone, over the stone.
Oh, yeah, I see. Yeah, I see. Yeah, Tapion 98. I see it.
It's inspired by the latest Hunger Games movie, Songbirds and Snakes or whatever it was. Lucy Gray, I think, was the character that's inspired by it.
Mm-hmm. That's definitely not AI. That is really well done. That's AI. That might be yours, Vladdy.
Possibly. Yeah, I should make some more esoteric, symbolic AI.
Here's Goth Alita.
Ooh, is that one of mine as well? That might be mine.
Maybe.
Ooh.
Ooh, I like that one. That's AI as well, but I like it. Ooh, she looks pissed. I don't think that's AI. I don't think that's
Can't believe
AI
when we
either.
started this fandom, we didn't have to worry about this. Everything's changed since 2019. Nothing's real anymore.
That's AI. Please make Alita sequels. Yes. That's out of the manga right there. Or inspired by the manga. Let's see. They don't have near enough candles for that to be my birthday cake. Now that's AI, but it's cute. That's for sure. Ooh, nice.
Yeah, very dynamic.
And that's not AI either. You can tell by the signature down at the center there. Let's see who's someone named Anna. Can't read the last name. Looks like a Russian name. That's really nice. Gunham fan. This is where I guess Alita is. Well, it says 6 on her head, so that's got to be Zex, I guess. Cubies. I need to send QB some invites to get him back on here. Cute. Too cute.
Very cute.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think these are older ones. Okay, let me get out of here, and I want to show. Let's see if I can find something else here. I'm going to go to. Let's see what we got here.
Maybe we should make another Alita art contest event.
That's bloody.
Yeah.
That was very great.
Yeah.
Bloody. I never will forget these events.
I need a morale boost. Maybe for like September the 9th. I don't know though.
Well, I guess I'll show this one, and we can call it a day. But let me. Now, this is a video I did something on, I guess. Now, these images I did were made by Gemini, so that looks like Alita, and that looks like
Gemini's pretty good.
Yeah, the Gemini made this. I mean, it's my prompt, obviously, but I'm not this good an artist. And that definitely looks like the Terminator, doesn't it? Looks like Alita's kicking the Terminator's ass. Yep.
Yeah. Nice.
That's Steppenwolf right there, who's being stepped on. Alita took care of him. And there he is again. She took care of him twice.
This is nice.
That looks like Alita, doesn't it? You know, I tried.
Get more and more closer to what the users of this chatbots or chat GPTs want. No, they have in most cases 5 fingers on each hand.
Yeah.
Hair is getting better. Yeah.
Yes.
That was a very short Terminator.
Yep. And I don't know who this character is, but she definitely stepped on him.
It's almost like Doomsday.
Yeah, it does kind of look like Doomsday, doesn't it? But I can't remember who I put in there for the name. And of course, I think that's the last one. I think I can. Oh, let me show one more because I think I got another one for. Let's see, which one was it? Is it this one? Oh no, it's not that one. Let's see. Images. I can't find it. Yeah, I can't find it. Let's see, maybe it's in here. Nope. Yeah, I can't find it. I thought I had. Oh well, I can't find it unless it's in here. Now here's some that QB did. Let's go ahead and show what QB's and Vladi's got some of these too. I think. I'm gonna just pull up the newer ones. All right. Oh, wait a minute. Oh gosh, Gary, come on. Okay. So now we can get over here and. That's yours, I think, Vladi, isn't it? Is that yours?
Oh yeah, that's one of the new ones.
Ooh.
It's a great start.
Oh yeah, it says Vladi up there. Gosh, Gary.
The black and white sort of gives it an interesting aesthetic as well.
See it. I mean, AI is getting better.
Yeah, better.
It's getting a lot better. Even some of the like AI trailer slot videos are like improving on YouTube.
Ooh, we should share the oldies.
That's Vladi's.
Oh, I like that one.
That's cute.
Yeah. That's
way better than the movie. All right, guys.
Ooh, sexy.
That's another one of mine.
Yeah.
But I'm prolific.
Yeah, you are. You keep doing it, Vladi, because it gives me content, which you should be doing.
Cute.
That's cute. That's cute. Got those octopus lips going too. Look at that.
Yeah, she's like, look at my octopus lips.
Yep, cute.
I've got too many AI options now. ChatGPT, Gemini's good.
Yeah.
These are from Copilot. Why are they so small?
Well, it's just the way that.
Oh, it's because you're screenshotting them.
Yeah.
Ah, creaky.
Hey, nobody's perfect, Vladi.
Sharon
Are you on desktop? I need to give you a Chrome extension. You can just download them in one click.
Yeah.
I think I got the Chrome extension. Golly. Anyway.
And yet you're still taking screenshots.
Yeah, creaks. I'm not technology challenged, but that's cute. Yeah, Vladi, you are pretty prolific when it comes to this.
Well, you know what they say, those who can't make AI art.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's me. Me as well. That's really cute.
James Cameron said he's going to try and use AI to reduce VFX budgets by half. Because it's the only way we'll be able to get movies like Alita in future. Although he didn't say
as
Alita,
long as he doesn't replace
like
actual actors with AI, I'll be okay with it.
Yeah.
No, that's not on the cards.
That's high risk, yeah. Disney, I could imagine Disney.
Oh, that is cute.
Thinks about it.
Yeah, Vladi, yes, you got. Oh, that's cute. Ooh, James Bond kind of thing right there.
Yeah.
Vladi had his James Bond hat on.
That was when Amazon bought James Bond. Like, Alita should be the next Bond.
This is a good one.
This is a good one, yeah.
I saw it, but I don't remember where.
Langenthorpe.
Langenthorpe, yeah.
Yep. There's another one by Vladi.
Sweet.
Yep. Cute. Too cute.
That's inspired by a girl who looks like Alita I follow on Instagram.
Why, do you know him?
We speak. I've given her a cosplay suit and stuff. Yeah, so I guess technically I know. I keep trying to get her to give the cosplay suit to her friend.
There's QB's.
But still not doing it.
Yeah, QB's got some coming up too. I haven't seen him on social media lately.
He does still pop on. He was doing like eye hearts to my AI art the other day.
There's one by QB.
Yeah, it's cute.
Yep, that's Vladi's. That one there looks elegant, Vladi. Like she's ready to go to some ball or something.
My dress-up doll.
And there's another one by QB. Oh, that's a good one, Vladi. I think that's a full-size one there for the one you did earlier.
I love the big hallway and everything. Looks great.
It's probably a place like that in England, isn't there, Vladi?
Well, I visited Windsor Castle last weekend. That's where I was.
Oh, okay.
In London. We went inside the Windsor Castle. They stole my binoculars. Security. I couldn't believe it. I just want to look at all the features and everything in.
Did they not give them back to you?
They did give it back to me, but the royal family probably bugged it. So I haven't brought it back to my house. I've left it at my mum's.
Oh, that's cute. There's one by a guy named Alvaro.
This looks
That's good. Another one by Alvaro. Yeah. And another one by Alvaro. And hey, a Project 21. I don't know who that is. The eyes are wrong, but hey, as long as we keep Alita current, I'm good with that. There's one by QB. Yeah, QB does some. I wonder what AI platform he uses for this. That's cute. That's cute. Cat Lita, that one is. There's another one of Cat Lita. And that
this looks great.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like Alita, though. I mean,
same words.
Alita and Superman. I love that. Boy, she looks badass. Got those red glowing eyes. I wouldn't want to mess with her.
Sweet.
Yep. There's one by Vladi. That looks like your cartoon style there, Vladi.
Yeah, that's cute. Darker skinned Alita.
Another one by QB. There's another one by QB. Damn, she looks like a ghost there. That's one I put together right there. There's another one by Vladi. Ooh, sexy.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like because it's not my work, I can say nice and stuff.
Well, you did the prompt.
I did do the prompt.
Yeah, I mean,
it's bringing my vision to life.
Yeah.
I mean,
boy, that's
people
cute.
do, I think, a bit too dismissive of AI art, in my opinion.
That's cute.
Cameron also wasn't totally against. He said AI art of characters isn't really an issue. It's just like fan art, except it's only an issue if you start charging money for it.
Yeah, that's where I have a problem with it too. I mean, QB, that's nice because it folks like Channel and Matu and Cran. Well, Cran's not in it professionally, but you don't see. And you don't get a feel for the person that, you know what I'm saying? For instance, if you see some of Cran's work, that's Cran's work. You know that she drew that, she created it. You can't tell, I mean, I got Lester 226 up there. That's a Facebook user, but but still there's no real unique style that you can, take back to the, the artist. Yeah. That's cute.
Same with Channel's art.
Yeah, Channel. That's right.
I love it.
Channel's art is great. I think she ought to be charging for commissions, is what I think. But that's cute. She's mad there, but she's still cute. There's some more from QB.
That's beautiful, detailed.
Oh, that's real
very
cute.
detailed.
Cute, and that's Christmas.
That's
Christmas. That's too cute right there. And of course, you wouldn't have a picture of Alita if you didn't have her eating chocolate. So now that to me doesn't look like Alita. So,
ooh, I think I shall make a chocolate AI art before bedtime.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah.
I think in that black and white fashion photography style that I've had going.
Another one by QB. Another one by QB. And there's a Vlotty. There's a Vlotty one. A Vlotty creation. Oh, that's cute. I like that one too.
I noticed some troll on my YouTube was like, they posted like sick emojis on the video I made of that.
Ah, fuck them.
And they also on one of my videos of the bust where I said Alita 2 is coming. I
get people troll my videos and I don't give a shit.
He said,
yes, it's cute.
He said, no Alita sequel, but we're getting Megan 2 instead. Ha 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 ha. The same guy who did the sick emoji on that.
Go back,
so yeah, if Cameron could give us
go back.
For the sequels, that would be nice.
Yep,
so we can have something for the haters.
Yeah, I get trolls on my videos, and I just my opinion is they should go piss up a rope. That's what I think. But anyway,
this is wonderful. Who's one?
Sabrina Karani. So I don't know who that is. This is a Facebook user that put this together. I guess.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, it is
very sweet.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. Langenthorpe. He does good AI stuff. I don't know who that is.
Wild.
There's some more by Vlotty. Yes, Vlotty, I should have downloaded this.
Tiny.
There we go. Cute though, real cute. Cute.
These are old.
Yeah, that's real old. So I get off of this, I guess.
Yeah, I think we've got to go to bed now.
We've been going. We've been going 2 hours.
We already started an hour late.
I'm sorry?
We started an hour late. Let's end this now.
Yeah, okay. All right,
I should have been to bed an hour ago, is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Well, you turn into a pumpkin, do you? I used to say that. I used to say that on Twitter. Dizzy used to get
Vladdy, some gaming tomorrow?
Yeah, I think so.
Hopefully they give us the right time. Otherwise, we play 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, who knows how many hours later it'll start tomorrow. Yeah. Is Angelus coming tomorrow, or is he working?
I don't know, Angelus. You're out there in the chat. You know.
Is he? Yeah.
Well, he's not in with us today because his microphone's not working. So I think that's why he hasn't shown up. Oh, we lost Chaos too. All right. So if there's if there's nothing else, I guess we can move on because we've been going like say 2 hours. Did we miss anything, guys?
That's a negative.
I don't think so. And as you can see from that center panel right there, Alita does love her Uncle Creek because he wants sequels just like Lee and Smendrick and Vlotty do. So,
yep.
And coming up on my channel tomorrow, I got a remake of a video I had done a couple of years ago, maybe. I can't remember, but it's to that taco song, Putting on the Ritz. So anyway, and the other two, I was telling Lee pre-stream that I've been so busy. I usually like to try to get 3 videos ahead, but I couldn't do it. I've been working on a project because I got to make a living. And yes, I may be somewhat old compared to you guys, but I am not retired. So, there you have it. So, but anyway, I'll come up with 2 more videos, and I think one of them is going to be an AI video, and we'll see what I come up with on that. And of course, next week we're going to have another Alita live stream. So just like that. And I think, Vladi, what we're going to start doing, it was a great idea you had to do a fanfic reading. So I think we might do that. So,
yeah.
Because I know that
what else we could do? We could come up with like AI fanfics like on the actual day, and it'll probably be pretty good, not gonna lie.
Yeah, you just want to make sure you stay out of arm's reach of channel, and or else you're going to get an earful.
Well, yeah, we'll have to do it on like random days in the week and not publicize it.
Oh no, I think I think she would be okay with it. Maybe she might give you an earful, but what the heck. Okay, so anyway, that's what's coming up this coming week on my channel, and this is a one that I really want to. I'm going to go ahead and play this too. I'm not going to play the music because it's copyright, but you guys will get the idea that this thing is freaking wonderful. That I think. Let me see if I can go pull that up. Let's see.
Is this like a channel that does music or something, or?
Yeah, it's AI, but let me see.
Basically, they've used AI to make there are so many like Alita 2 fake trailers that are just AI slot. But this one, they actually took scenes from the manga in the future and they converted them into pretty good looking AI scenes, and they made a really cool video with it. And on Reddit, they also went through, they wrote about it all, so it was all really thoughtfully done. Really, you should definitely watch it.
Well, here we go, guys. I'm gonna play it, and you guys, it's gonna knock your head off. I'm featuring this now. This individual, Galley's Dreams, only got one. He's only got one video on their channel, and they've only got 7 users last time I checked. So let's give them some love. But anyway, this is awesome.
Yeah.
7K views isn't bad. Or is that 2K? Still not bad. The Alita looks good.
Yeah,
incredible. Yeah.
So I can't play this music because it is copyright. So see, there's her playing the piano. There's
so cool.
That's her on the atomic train.
Yeah.
Rage.
There's Zerkerpan. And that's, of course, sending that up to Zalem for Hugo's remains. And there's Nova. And Edo.
That looks so close.
Yes.
It's wow.
There's Den. So anyway, guys, let's give Galley's Dream some love here. He's, like I say, only got 7 subscribers, so go check him out. I think that video is awesome. And if he puts out more like that, he's going to get a lot more subscribers, I think. And there's our queen. And, of course, our queen is very pretty, and certainly she's #1 in the Creeks book in terms of being an actor. She's like I say, she knocked mine and Charlie's heads off when we were when we went to see her at the Pasadena Playhouse. Man, she was just phenomenal, just magnificent, up there. And we told her so too. So anyway, I think she appreciated it. Also want to give a shout out to El Lamont and Jesse Fisher. They brought Screwhead to life, and we want to see Screwhead in the Alita sequel as well. We want to see, I want to see this, and I hope you guys do too, but I want to see Screwhead and Alita team up against Joshigan. And all three of these ladies deserve to be in the sequel for sure. Certainly Rosa, because she's the titular character, but Elle Lamont, she's a good actor herself, and Jessie, of course, as Elle put it, is the most badass stunt woman she ever worked for, or ever worked with, rather. So, hey, all three of these are really talented, so we want them back in the Alita sequel. And tomorrow on Radio Chaos, this is episode 261, obviously. How would Alita react to other strong female characters from other IPs? Now,
you get in trouble for this stream. You're not allowed to pit female characters against each other.
Well, that's let's not talk about that shit. but
sexist.
Now some folks think Maxie thought this was my topic, but it isn't. I don't know who came up with this. Angelus, it might have been you, I think. Not sure, but not pitting them against each other. Yeah, that's right. So it must be Angelus's topic because he come quick to defense on that one. So
how quickly could Alita behead Captain Marvel? That could be the first topic.
Well, I don't think he's going to do that now. I think it's just how would she react to them. So I don't think there's any kind of combat's going to be done here on this one. So it's going to be similar to what we did a couple of weeks ago on Radio Chaos when I had pitted Alita against some of the villains, except that was more of a combat situation, So, and if you want to join us at the Stammtisch, we're going to have the Stammtisch party. Now, I know it's pretty late for Smendrick and Bloody. They may not want to stick around too long, but if you want to, I'll stick around for a little bit. If nobody shows up, of course, I'll leave. But, if one or two people want to come on, let's say like perhaps Alita Killing Angel, if you want to come on, or say the Bad Man or somebody like that, if you want to come on to just chat, we don't stream this. This is just us. It's not being sent to YouTube, and you're not going to be in front of people and that sort of thing. So, join us for this, and we'll just chat about Alita and a bunch of other stuff. And, it probably won't go too late tonight because it's going to be kind of late for the folks in Europe.
That's it.
Yeah. Yes.
Maybe I will leave before you go to the Stammtisch.
All right. So anyway, but this is something we're starting to do on this channel, or rather on this stream. And we also have the Kansas Bar after party, on Radio Chaos. So we kind of have fun doing that. So, get to talk to folks. So if you want to come on, certainly I'll hang here for a few minutes to see if anybody wants to join. And if not, well, we'll just pick it up next week.
Yeah, do it. At the same time or an hour earlier?
Well, this is the same time we normally do at 4:00. My time is when I've done it. I did do it once at 3, but I think Angelus has a hard time getting out of bed because it's like 6:00 his time, I think, something like that, or 7 maybe. But we'll see. I'll chat with Angelus, see what he thinks about it, and if we can, we may pull it back an hour. But I'll make sure this time I get it right. Smendrick and Bloody.
Okay.
All right. And, of course, we are the Alita Army. We're the most positive fandom on the internet. And we support Alita and Rosa passionately and positively because Alita's our girl and Rosa is our queen. So we want to make sure that, we're behind them 100%. And, we are the Alita Army, and we are here to stay. You hear that, Bob Iger? We're not going anywhere. So anyway, that's that. And to wrap things up, why is this image here? Well, that image is there because I like it. And I'm running the stream. I'm the producer. I'm the director. I'm also the janitor and the chief cook and bottle washer. I am that as well. And to paraphrase Gruishka, I'm only here for our girl and the Alita Army. And of course, all of us in the Alita Army are only here for our girl. So we want those sequels. We're also here for our queen, too. We're here for Rosa. So, and that just leaves us with one thing left to do, and that would be on my count of three, the call to action. 1, 2, 3.
Fill
Fill
those
those
sequels,
sequels,
baby.
baby. All right, well, we'll see you next week on the Alita Livestream. We'll see you tomorrow on Radio Chaos.
See you tomorrow, guys.
Bye.
Take care, guys.
Bye.
Good night.
What's up, Alita Army? This is Hot Toys Alita, and I hope you enjoyed this week's Alita Livestream. Please join my Uncle Creek, Angelus, and our other guests for next week's show. Remember, I do not stand by in the presence of evil, and film those sequels, baby. See you next time.